Every day, we make thousands of decisions, most of them without even realizing it. From the moment we wake up, our brains are in constant decision-making mode. What time should I get out of bed? Should I check my phone first? What should I wear? By the time the day is over, it's no surprise that we feel exhausted. Even small things can turn into a mental workout. Say you walk into a coffee shop. Sounds simple, right? But then you have to decide, do I want hot or iced? Which milk should I get? Should I try a new flavor or stick to what I know? Before you know it, something as basic as ordering coffee has turned into an unexpected test of willpower. Now, having choices is great. I'd never want to live in a world where everything is decided for me. But maybe we weren't meant to have this many options all the time. That's why I'm always looking for ways to simplify my life and cut down on unnecessary decisions so I can focus on what actually matters. Tip 1. The 5-second reset. We've all been there, staring at an email draft, hovering over the send button, or sitting on the couch knowing we should get up and do something, but our brain just won't cooperate. The longer we hesitate, the harder it gets to take action. That's where the 5-second reset comes in. Whenever I catch myself stuck in a loop of overthinking, I count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. It's like a mental reset button that pushes me into action before doubt takes over. I started using this trick when I was putting off workouts. I'd sit in my gym clothes, scrolling through my phone, convincing myself I'd start in 5 minutes. But 5 minutes turned into 10, then 20. So I tried counting down from 5, and suddenly, my body just moved. I stood up, put on my shoes, and got started before my brain could talk me out of it. It works for small things, too. Making a tough phone call, speaking up in a meeting, or even getting out of bed in the morning. The idea isn't to rush into things without thinking, but to stop waiting for the perfect moment. Because most of the time, action leads to clarity, not the other way around. One simple change that made my life so much easier. Cutting out the guesswork from my meals. Mornings used to be a mess, standing in the kitchen half awake, trying to decide what to eat, and usually just grabbing whatever was easiest. Now, I stick to one go-to breakfast. Some days it's a smoothie, other days it's eggs and toast. But the key is that I don't waste time thinking about it. It's automatic, and it makes my mornings way smoother. For lunch and dinner, I still like to mix things up, but I keep it simple. I have a small rotation of meals I know I love, and I just cycle through them. No more staring into the fridge hoping something magically appears. No more last-minute takeout because I didn't plan ahead. And definitely no more buying random groceries that end up going bad. Just a little bit of planning has saved me so much time, money, and mental energy. It's honestly one of the best habits I've picked up. Big decisions can be overwhelming. The endless back and forth, the second-guessing, the fear of making the wrong choice. It can leave you feeling stuck and drained. I've been there more times than I can count. One thing that's helped me, talking it out with someone I trust. It could be a friend, a family member, or just someone who knows me well. Saying my thoughts out loud forces me to organize them, and more often than not, I realize I already know what I want. I just need to hear myself explain it. Getting an outside perspective can also be eye-opening. Sometimes someone else will point out something I hadn't even considered, or they'll remind me of what I've said in the past when I was thinking more clearly. It doesn't mean I let other people make my choices for me, but having that conversation helps cut through the mental fog. At the end of the day, no decision is ever perfect. But the real challenge isn't making the absolute best choice. It's having the confidence to make a choice and move forward. Ever notice how some people always seem effortlessly put together? It's not because they spend hours choosing what to wear. It's because they've found a go-to style that works for them. Think about athletes off the field. You'll often see them in joggers and hoodies. It's comfortable, easy, and fits their lifestyle. Or take chefs, who almost always wear the same work attire because it's practical and removes the need to think about what to wear. That's the power of a personal uniform. For me, I keep things simple. When it's warm, I'm usually in loose cotton pants and a plain t-shirt. When it's colder, I default to sweatpants and a zip-up hoodie. Once I figured out what I actually enjoy wearing, I stopped wasting time staring at my closet. Another trick? Rotating my clothes by season and donating what I never wear. It keeps my space clutter-free and makes getting dressed a no-brainer. But that's a topic for another day. It might sound obvious, but cutting down on unnecessary choices makes life so much easier. The more decisions we have to make, the more overwhelming things can feel. Take everyday routines, for example. There was a time when my kitchen shelves were packed with different coffee blends, teas, and snacks, and every morning I'd waste time deciding what to have. Now, I just stick to a couple of favorites. Less variety, less stress. The same goes for clothes. Instead of sifting through a packed closet, I keep a small selection of pieces I actually love and wear often. No more standing there for 10 minutes trying to figure out what to put on. The fewer unnecessary choices I have to make, the more energy I have for the things that actually matter. So take a look around, whether it's your wardrobe, your desk, or even your phone apps. See where you can declutter. It's not just about having less stuff. It's about making life feel lighter. One of the easiest ways to keep life organized? Lists. I make lists for almost everything. Places I want to visit, gift ideas for friends, meals I can cook with whatever's left in the fridge. Instead of scrambling to make decisions in the moment, I just check my lists and go from there. For example, when I'm stuck on what to do over the weekend, I have a list of fun activities I've been meaning to try, whether it's checking out a new cafe, going for a hike, or finally starting that DIY project. That way, I don't waste time scrolling for ideas or end up doing nothing just because I couldn't decide. The best part? Lists take the stress out of small decisions. When you already have options lined up, you can just pick one and move on. Cleaning isn't the most exciting thing in the world, but it's one of those things that has to get done. And honestly, I'd rather spend my time doing something fun, going for a walk, reading a book, or catching up with friends. That's why I've found it so helpful to have a simple routine. Instead of letting chores pile up and then spending an entire day trying to tackle everything, I break it down into small, manageable tasks. Maybe it's wiping down the counters after breakfast, doing a quick vacuum in the evening, or setting a timer for 10 minutes and getting as much done as possible. I also like to divide tasks throughout the week so things stay clean without feeling like a never-ending to-do list. Mondays for laundry, Wednesdays for dusting, Sundays for a deep clean, whatever works. The goal isn't perfection, just keeping things manageable so I don't have to think about it all the time. One of the simplest ways to prevent tasks from piling up is to follow the 1-minute rule. If something takes less than a minute to do it immediately. It's amazing how much clutter, both physical and mental, comes from tiny tasks we put off. For example, instead of tossing my jacket on a chair, I take 5 seconds to hang it up. Instead of leaving a dirty dish in the sink, I rinse it and put it in the dishwasher. A single action takes almost no time, but when I keep up with these small habits, my space stays tidy without needing a huge cleanup session. This works beyond just chores. Answering a quick email, responding to a text, or adding something to my to-do list instead of trying to remember it later helps keep my mind clear. It's such a small shift, but over time, it makes a huge difference. The less I have to think about repetitive tasks, the better. That's why I automate as much as possible. For example, I have my bills set to auto-pay, so I never have to remember due dates. I use recurring grocery orders for staples like coffee, oatmeal, or cleaning supplies, so I don't have to keep adding them to my list. I even have a preset workout schedule so I don't waste time figuring out which days I should exercise. Automating isn't just about technology. It's about setting up systems that remove the need to constantly decide. Even something as simple as having a set laundry day or a meal rotation is a form of automation. The less mental energy I spend on routine tasks, the more I have for things that actually matter. We don't just deal with physical clutter. Digital clutter can be just as overwhelming. I used to have thousands of unread emails, random screenshots I never looked at again, and so many apps on my phone that I couldn't even find the ones I actually used. Now, I regularly declutter my digital space. That means unsubscribing from emails I don't read, deleting apps I haven't used in months, keeping my desktop and phone home screen minimal with only the essentials, clearing out old notes and downloads that no longer serve a purpose. The cleaner my digital space, the less distraction and decision fatigue I deal with. It's such a small thing, but it makes using my devices feel so much smoother and less overwhelming. Life feels so much easier when we clear out the unnecessary, whether it's decisions, clutter, or habits that just slow us down. The less we have to overthink, the more energy we have for the things that actually make us happy. So, here's a little challenge. Pick one tip from this video and try it this week. Maybe it's setting up a go-to breakfast, simplifying your wardrobe, or finally making that decision you've been putting off. Small changes add up fast. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments. And if you have your own favorite ways to simplify life, I'd love to hear them. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who could use a little less stress. See you in the next one.